Authorizing UAV mission.
Your squad made it to the safe zone. Gas is inbound. Squad mate is marked as a most wanted target. Kill enemies and secure supply caches to help remove the bounty on their head.
Kraus authorizing UAV mission. Catch me, eyes in the sky.
Your squad mate survived. Contract complete. Almost your turn, soldier. Stand by. Earn redeployment or die trying.
Requesting recon overhead.
outside the safe zone.
Come on, people. Careful. Fuck! They're with me, they're with me, they're with me. Careful. They're on this side.
Top 5.
Oh, good try, guys. Good try.
Gas is closing in. Relocating safe zone. Move to the safe zone. Gas is inbound. On station. No enemy movement detected at this time. Areas.
Oh, fuck. That's a decent little warm-up game. Breezy. Breezy, you here? Breezy, breezy.
Yo.
Yo.
Every time we go out to eat with them, dad literally shrivel up like that.
1 second.
Like,
You good?
Check weapons and gear. We're holding for deployment.
We're holding for the flight. Oh, y'all must be in Discord.
Nah, just quiet.
Oh, all right. I just didn't hear a peep. I was like, oh shit, all good. I think Breezy's been rocking that same operator since the day I became friends on here with
Yeah, I don't change mine either.
him.
I ran that Groot skin for a while, but I went back to Black Noir. I think he's on a phone call or something. So,
Roger. Where
ain't no
to?
freaking most wanteds anywhere, dude. Okay, let's just go military.
Targets are up. Go take them down. Eliminate all bounty targets.
Dude was a slippery motherfucker.
Yeah, he was fast.
Nothing right here. I think he's in here.
Yeah, I thought I heard him. What a big stupid idiot. Damn.
Bounty's
whole
doing a
team over
recon.
there.
They're doing a recon.
cluster.
Downed one. Downed another. Team wipe.
Oh, that grenade is gonna be fucking perfect. That was nice.
Dudes are big fucking mad.
Oh shit, we got bread. Y'all ready to go to Blowout in the buy station?
Sir.
Two of the guys I've been playing with, they're just as bad as me, but they were playing. We could be playing casuals. That shit's wild.
Casuals is it's a good little warm up.
Yeah,
I played it earlier, got 23.
yeah. I was like 20 kills every time. It's fucking awesome. I got a UF. I'll hold it. Oh yeah.
Up this one guy right here. Oh, he boundied us.
Be advised, an enemy squad is tracking your location.
Let's go talk with him about his Lord and Savior.
Oh shit, they're level 2.
I know he's pushing hard. On me to the left. Oh shit.
Those dudes are weird, man.
Yeah.
The dude that killed me was level 1. Yo, Edit, what's up, man?
Your squad mate fell down. We're headed back to base. Earn redeployment or die trying.
Not much, man. Just play the game.
Boys, I'm sorry, my explosion sounded real quick so much.
I'm doing pretty good this morning, though. How about you, man?
Oh, fuck, I'm dead.
Yo!
Oh, shit.
What the fuck? Oh no, he's tracking me through the walls and everything, dude. Nah, that team's tracking through walls and shit.
Yeah, they're coming for me. Oh, boy. Run, bitch. fuck? My controller's fucked up. It's not letting me like sprint. There.
That's good to hear, man. Always good to hear.
Well, I'm a jackass.
You've got a loadout drop inbound.
Good people all rock. Oh, it's not fucking smoke. Oh god.
Shake it off and keep pushing.
Shit. Hey, I gotta back out for a second. I gotta run. I hit you when I was back, Breezy.
Alright.
Come on, pick up that room.
Like I'm talking to her and I'm like, yeah, like, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go.
It ain't working though, is it?
Man. No. I was saying, yeah, I gotta go while we were fucking, while I backed out and picked up him. One second. Alright. Trying to let this motherfucker know we're letting it in his lobby. I don't know if you remember me telling about that food day I had at the restaurant the other day, but dude, holy fuck.
What'd you do?
I'm unemployed at the moment, or laid off, and so contacted my old bosses from this 5-star restaurant that's super expensive near me,
Yeah.
and they put me on as a server. So I've been training, like why I look for like job,
Yeah.
but like in order to not explain things better, they take you and they put you in the back, and then they literally cook you everything off the menu.
Someone who maybe new to PC gaming and doesn't want to
Stuff.
follow loads and loads of
Yeah.
guides on how to get the games running as good as possible, but that's literally what this channel
What
is
up,
for. So if
Bob
you
Lee?
haven't already, make sure you click subscribe. But you can just come in here and click optimize and set this between performance and quality, and it will just do all the settings for you. In general, it works decently well, but for power users, I would just avoid playing with these and instead open up the game itself, follow some guides online, and make sure the settings are dialed in the game itself. What we do care about and want to change are the global settings, which I'm going to cover now. The global settings in here are just a few of the settings that we used to have to control from the NVIDIA control panel. We've got things like low latency mode, things like power management mode. These are classic settings that have been around for NVIDIA GPUs forever, but you used to have to do it in the NVIDIA control panel, and now we can do it from within here. So let's run through them. Starting off with RTX Dynamic Vibrance, this is a fairly new setting that uses the RTX technologies within your NVIDIA GPU to change the vibrance and the colors of games that you're playing. However, it doesn't really work very well. There's been a lot of tests done on this that you can go and see online. It really crushes a lot of colors. It makes things overly saturated. It doesn't look natural at all. And so I would highly recommend that you keep this off for now until they improve this. For CUDA GPUs, you should only have one option in here, assuming you've only got one GPU. Just make sure that it's ticked and apply it, and make sure it's listed here. For smooth motion, this will only be available if you have a 50 series card or newer, which have only just dropped, so not many of you guys will have it. And because of that, I'm not even going to sit and try and recommend what you should put this on. I haven't done any research into it. I've got a 40 series card, but in general, I would probably recommend that you keep it off anyway, because it's probably fairly untested at the moment. Low latency mode, however, is not a new setting. This has been around for a long time and basically gets your GPU and your CPU working far more efficiently to get you much better latency in any game that you play on PC. And there are three options we've got here. We've got off, on, and ultra. My main recommendation for most people would just be to set this to on. Forcing this to ultra in games that don't handle it too well, I remember PUBG back in the day had a bit of a problem running with the ultra setting, will actually lead to stutters, some weird issues when you're playing games, and in general I would just think putting this to on will give you the overall best experience. There will be some games that will offer on plus boost in the in-game settings, and for those games you can just set that up in the in-game settings without setting it in here. So yeah, just leave this at on. For image sharpening, you can turn this on and get a sharpening filter that applies to every game that you play, and it does make games look a hell of a lot better in certain cases. What I'd recommend doing is, rather than setting this up inside of the global settings, is to actually come back to program settings, pick the game that you might want to sharpen up, for example Marvel Rivals, scroll down and you'll see that there's an image sharpening option in here. I've actually got this set up for Marvel Rivals at the moment with 0.45 and then 0.17, and that means that I'm only getting the sharpening in that specific game. The reasoning for this is some games really make good use of it, some games do not make good use of it at all, and in fact actually look worse. So it's a game by game basis. In the global settings, I would recommend that you just keep it off. The max frame rate setting does exactly what it says on the tin. It sets a frame rate cap, which can help with some games in terms of frame timings and how the game feels to play. However, I would steer away from setting a global max frame rate limit in here. Any games that really make use of having a frame rate limit, like putting the game, your monitor's refresh rate as the limit, so potentially if you've got a 144Hz monitor, putting it at 144 FPS, those games will have a frame rate limiter inside of the in-game settings, and it's been proven on multiple occasions that those in-game frame rate limiters lead to far better input latency than the global setting in either the control panel or in the NVIDIA app. So once again, I would recommend that you do not use this for now. Moving on to monitor technology, if you have a G-Sync monitor, you will see G-Sync compatible will be available in here. If you don't know what G-Sync is, it is a technology with monitors where the refresh rate of the monitor actually adjusts on the fly to match whatever the FPS of the game that you're playing is. This leads to potentially better input latency, but the main thing is absolutely no screen tearing, so the game just looks and runs really nicely. However, I'm not a massive fan of running G-Sync. I just never have been, so I'm usually a fixed refresh kind of guy. I would say if you have a G-Sync monitor, read into G-Sync, see if it's something that's going to be good for you. I personally, for playing a lot of competitive games, just prefer fixed refresh rate, running my monitor at 360Hz all the time, flat out. It just feels better to me, but either of these options can be good depending on your use case. Just go do some research on G-Sync. Then we've got power management mode, which you can set between normal and prefer maximum performance, which for the longest time people have said, oh, you definitely have to set this because it's going to make your GPU always perform the best and you're going to get loads of FPS. But no, this is not what you want to run. All Prefer Maximum Performance does is it will run your GPU at max clocks in all circumstances, no matter whether it actually needs them or not. If you just simply run this on normal, it will allow your GPU to lower its clocks when you're doing non-intensive tasks, and then when you start playing those games that really need it, it will ramp those clocks up to exactly what you need. Running this at Prefer Maximum Performance, dare I say it, will just lead to a GPU that has a shorter life than it needs to. And it can also make fans run louder for no reason. It can draw a lot more power, which in this day and age where energy costs a hell of a lot, there is just no point in doing this. So I would recommend highly that you just run this at default. Then we've got shader cache size. So a lot of games these days, when you load them up, you might see shaders compiling and it does a big long install as the game's running. Basically what this is doing is it is installing...
Is anyone playing
putting
solo
these
trios
shaders
or
that can
something?
be accessed
Or
in-game,
random?
when you start playing, that will lead to a lower amount of stutter.
What's that?
So he's just
stuff
playing
that
with
you
randoms on
actually
trios?
play. By default, I think the driver default is something like 1
no,
gig.
he's playing
I think it's
solos
around
match
that.
right now. The
I
dude
would
we're
highly
waiting for,
recommend
Stevie.
setting this to
Yeah.
10 gig at least. All this will mean is that you have a decent amount of space available for different games that you play, to allow for the shader cache to not have to refresh when you're playing different games. There's also been a couple of games like Call of Duty, for example, where having this set to 10 or 100 gig has actually just led to overall better performance and less stuttering as well. So yeah, set this to 10 gig or even 100 gig if you're playing a lot of different games and therefore you need a much bigger shader cache. Vertical sync, or VSync as we mainly know it. What this does is it will make sure that the game that you are playing has its FPS matching whatever the refresh rate of your monitor is. So if you're playing a game and you're playing on a 144 Hz monitor, it will lock the FPS at 144, which should lead to less screen tearing, similar to G-Sync, but you should not be running VSync. It adds a hell of a lot of input latency for no reason, and as long as you're running a 144 Hz or higher monitor, input latency will be low and screen tearing will be practically non-existent. Also, if there is a little bit of screen tearing, I would recommend you get used to it because vertical sync really kills how the game feels. Input latency feels horrendous. So do not use VSync. Ideally, if you have a problem with screen tearing, get yourself a G-Sync monitor and then set up G-Sync so that at least then you have an FPS that can still fluctuate and less input latency as well. And the last thing on this list is virtual reality variable rate super sampling. I would recommend that you put this to adaptive. This will only actually kick in, however, if you play virtual reality games, which I know a lot of people don't, but you never know. You might play something in the future. And by setting this to adaptive, it's 3, and I have found much better performance out of having this set to adaptive. So moving on now, we've got the system area. You can set G-Sync to on or off in here. As I said, I do not have this on, but I would recommend you go read into it if you've got a G-Sync monitor. It might be something you want to try out, and you can turn it on in here. Scrolling down a little bit, you've got where you can set your resolution and your refresh rate. Please make sure that you've got your refresh rate set to the refresh rate your monitor's meant to run at, which is whatever the highest option is in here. Still, to this day, we see people with 144 Hz monitors that are set to 60 Hz, and then they don't realize, and they are basically having a monitor that is a complete waste of money. So make sure that this is set up properly here. We've then got a video tab where you can turn on these RTX video enhancements. These are basically the same as the RTX dynamic vibrance in here, so you do not want those on. Performance is where we can do some tuning of the GPU. I haven't done a lot of testing on this yet. I know some people have access to a higher power maximum. They'll have it set at 100, but they can actually just pull this to a higher value, which actually just gets you better performance. But I'm not going to do any recommendations on this today because I haven't played around with it just yet. And then the last thing in here is my rig, which shows you all of the different details of the stuff you've got in your PC, so you can see what I'm running here. And you've also got a nice option down here to open up the NVIDIA control panel, which we are going to do in just a second, to dial into some lower level settings that haven't made their way into the NVIDIA app just yet. But first, I would like you to come over to the settings area down here and check if you have on either the NVIDIA overlay or the game filters and photo mode. Please, please, please turn these off. There's been a lot of testing done that has shown that both of these settings, especially this game filters option, even if you're not using any game filters, it is tanking the FPS of every game you play, no matter what it is. Pretty badly as well. So make sure both of these are off. This is one of the biggest complaints I've seen about the NVIDIA app. And when you turn these off, it runs as we've always known it to. No problems, okay? So it's just that simple, okay? So let's go over to system area, click my rig and click NVIDIA control panel. And that'll open up the control panel for us to play around in. You can also still just right click and select NVIDIA control panel from here, but it's nice that we have the option in the NVIDIA app as well. So we'll move this to the center and move over to the manage 3D settings area. Now, in here, we're going to have global and program settings. This is very similar to what we saw in the NVIDIA app. And if you look in global settings and go down to things like low latency mode, it's set to on because we've already set it in the NVIDIA app. So both apps are synced nicely together, but there's a lot more stuff in here that we need to cover. So what I'll quickly do is run through the list and point out all the settings that we didn't have access to in the NVIDIA app and tell you exactly what you need to set them to and why. So starting off with ambient occlusion, we want to set this to off. What this actually means is let the application do what you want with it. Don't force it on for every game, which is going to be my main recommendation for a lot of settings in here. You don't really want to be forcing this kind of graphic setting from a global perspective. You just want to let the program you're running determine what kind of ambient occlusion, shadows, anti-aliasing, all that kind of stuff is happening in the background, okay? Anisotropic filtering, however, is the one where I would recommend actually forcing 16x. If you don't know what anisotropic filtering is, it basically improves how textures look when you view them from an angle. So if you view something head on, it's going to look some way, but if you start tilting it away from you, how that texture renders in is improved greatly by turning up anisotropic filtering all the way to the max and forcing that at a global level. So going a little bit against what I said before, but this will make games look a hell of a lot better. Next one is anti-aliasing FXAA. Definitely want this off. FXAA is a terrible way to set up anti-aliasing. It is very blurry. Most games now come with much better anti-aliasing options. Even things like TAA, which aren't great.
What's up, girl?
Like MSAA as well, which are
shaking
just,
and baking.
just all better anti-aliasing to get
Doing
rid of
the
those jagged
regular.
edges on the edges of objects and stuff. FXAA ain't it. So keep it off. Gamma correction, you want to leave this on.
It's not
This
like you
will
hopped in
overall
here.
just improve anti-aliasing.
What did you do?
Whatever
Kick
methods
him out?
being used in games. It will keep lighting overall on objects
You?
better and make those edges
He left by
a lot
himself, I think.
cleaner than they would if you turn this off. And then anti-aliasing mode, you want this to just be application controlled. So if you want to set TAA, MSAA, or maybe even FXAA.
There were 5 people in the
no
lobby at one
anti-aliasing.
point.
Yeah,
Whichever you wanna select, it'll let
Hugh
the
joined.
application
Hugh
determine that.
Janus.
And same thing goes for anti-aliasing transparency. Make sure that's off as well.
Did he?
I don't know
Ground
his name.
Yeah, he joined and backed out.
So
Janus.
this is similar to the application max frame rate that we had in the NVIDIA app, but this is specifically what the FPS of your application is when you alt-tab out of it and you look at something else over on a different screen. For this, I would actually recommend that you turn this on and turn this down to something like 10 FPS. What this will do is when you alt-tab... Oh, you can't.
So I haven't played against Red
Okay,
Pill
so
in a
let's
while
try
there, Breezy.
what this will do is when you alt-tab
Get
out
me
of
into
game, so
one
you're
of his
playing something over
lobbies.
here and you go, okay,
Well, you got me and Breezy in here, so I mean, I play with Rex at least once a day.
You gotta pump those numbers up, man. I get that motherfucker all the time.
Alright, start out whenever.
I want to check something on Google Chrome.
Oh, you made me host?
Browser, or just check
He did.
something
Yeah,
else on
that's what I
your
said.
computer. It will
Yeah,
lower
you have
the
a fucking
FPS
good luck
of the
charm.
game that's still running, freeing up a lot of resources to make sure that whatever you're doing in terms of multitasking is not getting hampered by the fact that your game is still running at 200 FPS.
Are we doing recounts or running gunning?
It's a very nice thing to have on.
Running gun, I'm gonna try to hit one of those
snipes.
snipes.
Into the game, you don't care about
Alright,
how much FPS
sounds
is running.
good.
Just makes everything run a bit smoother. Okay. CUDA GPUs. This is all as we had in NVIDIA app actually. So we just have that set to RTX 4080. And then system fallback policy. Just leave this to driver default. Low latency mode we already had. Max frame rate we've already covered.
It's easy. I had a
Multi-technology
lobby with
we've
like
covered.
12 streamers in it the other day.
MFAA,
In the same lobby.
multi-frame sample
Yeah, I think you sent a message in
AA.
Discord about that shit. I was like, holy fuck, that man's name dropping everyone. Like he's at the Met Gala.
If you're using
Yeah, it was
MSAA,
ridiculous.
which is it's one of the best anti-aliasing techniques.
Whoever was with me, they were like,
If
let's
and
back
only
out.
when
I
you're
was like,
using that,
fuck
it's just
that.
gonna make it
Go.
look even
Nah, you
better
gotta
because
live
it's gonna
through
be
the
using
pain.
MFAA in place.
No pain, no
In
gain,
broad
right?
strokes, it's just a better version of MSAA. And
I
as said, it's
managed to
only
knock
going to take place when
Rexzilla
you're
right
using
off
that
the rip.
anti-aliasing option. So there's no
Up
reason to
close.
turn it on. It's just improving
But
a
of
setting
course,
that you would be selecting anyway.
Kush was
inside of the
holding his
games.
diaper in his hands,
OpenGL
so he got
GDI
me.
compatibility, just set this to auto, just the default. And rendering GPU auto select as well, or if you have multiple GPUs, just make sure you've got the correct one selected.
Sounds
Power
like,
management
yeah,
mode
Brett
we've covered,
his
preferred
diaper changed
refresh
the way he
rates,
got
just make
shit
sure
on.
that this is application. Preferred refresh rate, make sure this is set to highest available. We don't want, for whatever reason, a game to be not allowing our monitor to run at the refresh rate it should be, which would be a weird occurrence anyway, but I think for safety, just set this to highest available. Shader cache size,
Fucking
we covered.
S-Mac, dude,
Texture
was he
filtering. Okay.
talking
We've got
shit to
4
Alex
settings in
Snipes
here.
like a couple
Anisotropic
weeks ago,
sample
man.
optimization,
He had me
negative
dying
LED bias,
laughing.
quality, and trilinear optimization. You actually only need to change one of the settings in here, and that's this quality one, which we have 4 options for: quality, high quality, performance, and high performance. Simple answer here is you want to select either quality or performance. Both the high performance and high quality settings have caused some strange issues in a multitude of games. So it basically comes down to you. If you've got an older system and you just want to gain some FPS, some performance overall across everything you play, just set this to performance and you'll see that the settings around it in these other 3
Rock up, you're
will
headed
change
to the
as a
war
result. So I actually prefer to run this at quality. And you'll see the main thing that's changed is this anisotropic sample optimization has automatically changed to off. But yeah, as I said, quality or performance, don't choose high quality.
Hit that lean out.
Last few settings in here then, triple buffering. You want to make sure that this is
Gotta
off.
hit that lean
It
out.
add a lot of input latency for no reason, so do not turn that on. Vertical sync, we've already covered. Virtual reality pre-rendered frames, just set this to 1. We don't want to have a load of pre-rendered frames anytime we're using VR games because that adds a lot of input latency. And the last thing in
I don't
here,
know.
Vulkan
Rex is alive
OpenGL
right now, so.
present method. Sorry, couldn't say that. You want to just set this to auto so that we're not having NVIDIA control.
I see that. LOL.
There are more and more games using Vulkan these days as opposed to DirectX 12 or DirectX 11, so just let those games handle whatever they want to do. Inside of adjust desktop color settings, you can actually set up your...
Well, we should probably
He said
back
his internet
out.
just went out.
Yeah, we should probably back out and let him reboot.
Damn.
Oh, never mind. He said it out. Damn.
It's out.
I just waited for his.
No, like it's not resetting. He said he'll be back on later when the shit resets. Like it doesn't look like it was a glitch. It looks like his whole like tower went down kind of shit.
Damn. He forgot to pay his bill.
Primary objective is to eliminate all targets. Enemy intel located. Capture and secure the intel point to discover the next gas spread.
Damn, somebody got a car and ran over AFKs.
Help your squad mate secure the intel. Join us to speed up capture. Fight for a chance to redeploy.
I got UAV in pocket.
Intel point captured. Great work. You've earned a peek at the next gas
Where we
spread.
go next? I mean,
floaty first, or?
Loadout drop headed your way.
Do you guys run overkill or do you guys do 2 loadouts?
I do overkill.
I got both set up. I need to know what to pick.
I run overkill.
Yeah.
Got a gas mask. Whole 2 teams up top.
Yeah, remember we're short one, so we only watch him shit like that.
Yeah, we can do whatever. I'm just letting you know.
No, for sure. Yeah, next solo, yeah, we can watch that. We don't want to
And I ain't hitting shit right now, man. We ain't been playing. What the fuck is up with my FPS though? This shit is like stupid low.
Check your map. Mark the point containing enemy intel. Capture it for
My fucking FPS is garbage right now.
Alright, we're gonna bounty after this. Gonna definitely end the hills down there.
check your map for the next gas spread location.
Somebody was sniping at us.
On the tower. On the tower. Our bounty. Hop in. Alright, hop in. We're gonna get this chopper. Go get him.
Broke my leg.
You're gonna go tap? Well, you're on top. Okay.
I'm getting shot at by somebody else. Who the fuck is sniping at me? And from where?
I cannot see them. I have no idea.
They're somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Back there. They were back there on that hill.
Somebody jumped down.
They're hitting shots though.
Yeah, no, they're really good. Can't even hate. And then we got a team right above.
Over here, they're sniping.
Alright, dropping an airstrike now.
Yeah, good
They're
down.
calling above.
Yeah, we do have people on the bottom and then people pushing on top.
No, we don't. You're tripping.
There's at least two up there, maybe three. How many of you guys are left? 2 or 3?
I can't tell.
On my live mark.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Hey, come here, Green. Green, come here. Green, come here.
We've got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
You ready?
Whoa! What? What the fuck?
I'm just watching the clip.
I mean, I doubt.
The one that was, but yeah, the one that was watching is if we got, but the second one upstairs came down like a fucking, I don't know, like a ninja.
He fucking lasered me dropping down the fucking elevator shaft too. Something's going on with my damn PC. I'm only getting like 100 FPS.
I'll run back with y'all if y'all want to run one back.
Failure means elimination.
Let's go, boy.
Dude just fucking hit fired me.
Oh, it just creeps up, not a single fucking time. Alright.
Bounty targets are up. Get after them.
I've said it 5 million times. Fuck this stupid gulag.
Sending smoke grenades. Squad paid for your release. Get ready to redeploy.
Worst gulag it's ever put out. Even worse than a lot. All the guy has to do is flick you in the tip of your cock and you're dead. Okay.
Dude, I don't even die in the gas back there. What's he doing?
That's fine.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Hey, we need it. Nice. Let's go. Alright, sit this by up here. Grab you guys a loadout.
Make up your mind.
Recon to the north.
Oh, look, more dead people.
That way too.
You've got a loadout drop inbound.
Man, I'm staying. Oh, man. Make up your mind! Should I stay or should I go now? Be-doo! Special delivery. Here, a car to the northeast, eastish area.
Test this out to the circle closes. We can make a move from there.
Yeah, I mean, we can go wherever. There's a loadout right here.
Who's at the top of the hill coming down?
Damn, dude, there's dead people everywhere in this fucking building.
The landing thing right here. He's running to the right.
Broke the Terminator.
Somebody sounds like they might be below us.
Someone's here.
They are.
He's on breezy.
Nice. One's on fire.
One's outside, right here.
Ooh, come on, guy at fire station. Peek again.
Oh, he's weak.
Oh, he got me. Oh, whoa, what? How the fuck did he get over here?
He flew over.
I need to restart.
Fellas, I'm gonna take a break until Steezy's back on.
I gotta restart my game, dude. Something fucked up my damn FPS. I'm only getting like 100. Let's see, graphics. Let's restart shaders. Restart the game. Why does my game look like hammered dog shit right now?
Listen, this is going to be a long video, but it's probably one of the most important videos you can watch as a Warzone player. Look at these testimonials.
What the
You'll see
fuck
war
is
story-
going on?
Verdansk is here. Ladies and gentlemen, Verdansk is finally here, and these are the best settings that you need.
Shit. Let's just see how this runs now, if it's still running like hammered dog shit. Turn this back off. Let's see how it runs.
Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deployed.
This thing looks like hammered dog shit. What the fuck? Okay, I have obviously fucked up my game somehow, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill it and see if I can't fix it. I'll catch you guys later.